What's good, YouTube? Today I'm coming at you with a water-only Monster Mash deck. I was looking through a bunch of the Abyss Rising stuff before it came out. And it's like, hey, there's a bunch of water stuff here, and I was looking at a bunch of cards that were set to come out. And I'm like, hey, let's make a Water Mash deck, especially when I noticed this card, Fishborg Planter. Once per turn, while this card is in your grave, you can send the top of your deck to the grave. If it's a water monster, you can special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Fishborg Planter once per turn. And when I saw this, I'm like, hey, let's give this card 100% chance of 100% chance success rate, and make a Water Mash deck because I had made a few Monster Mash decks before, which I may get around to profiling. But let's stick with what's in front of us. So, to start off the profile, I run 3 Rage of the Deep Sea. This card gains 500 attack for every fish, sea serpent, and aqua monster in your graveyard. And all these monsters at some point want to find their way pretty much to the grave. And since most of them are aqua, water, sea serpent, except, sea lancers, beast, we'll get to that. So this guy can normally get pretty big, especially near endgame. I run 2 Mobius. Since I don't run any spells or traps, I need something to pop back row other than baiting it out, and this is what I use. I run 3 Sea Lancer. It lets me recycle the stuff that has been removed by any means. Say it's been bottomless, say it's been banished by Rodent Totem. Just say Aqua Spirit, just several means. So this is my way to get it back. I run 3 Abyss Soldier. I can discard a water monster to return 1 card on the field to its owner's hand. So this is another way I can use to get around back row. It's another way I can also to get around other things, like what is it called? Level limit area B, that kind of things. There we go. I'm sorry that took so long, and of course it also helps me get water monsters in the grave. I run 3 Aqua Spirit. I can special summon this card from my hand by banishing a water monster from my grave, and it's mostly there for rank 4 plays. Same with Farron. I can banish 2 water monsters to special summon this card. And these two's effects. Aqua Spirit. Once per turn, I can change the battle position of one of my opponent's monsters during my opponent's standby phase. This card really helped me out in a Cloudian deck I was playing, where it's like, okay, I only have 2 outs to his entire deck pretty much, and it is Aqua Spirit and Abyss Soldier, and luckily Aqua Spirit put in work with that effect. And Farron, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, they skip the next draw phase, so that is pretty nifty. And then I have run a Frog Engine, 3 Swap Frogs. Pretty much I can fill up if I open up Swap Frog, I can pretty much, at the cost of my entire hand, I can fill up my graveyard with frogs. I run 3 Dupe Frog outside of its 2000 D. It's also a floater and gets me to my Swap Frog. And if I can get 2 on the field at the same time, I have the Dupe Block, where my opponent can't attack either, and it gives him time to stall. 3 Poison Draw Frogs. Banish for Rodent Totem equipped to Sea Lancer. When it's removed from Sea Lancer, its effect kicks in, I draw a card. Really good. Rodent Totem. Pretty much at this point, you've probably noticed that the Frog Engine, along with Sea Lancer, functions a lot like Frog Lancers, and that's what I was going for. And this lets me banish my frog, so I can equip a Sea Lancer. And I can then overlay for rank 2s 4 days. A Treeborn Frog, it's just a free +1. Lets it sometimes absorb an attack. Tribute Fodder for Mobius, and Rage of the Deep Sea. 2 Fishborg planters, as I found myself not really needing a third one. And I also wanted to. The original version of this deck ran Fishborg Launcher. Unfortunately, this card's effect only works if all the monsters in your grave are water, and that really kind of hurt the deck when it came to using the extra deck. So it did make the cut. But this card, mill the top card, special summon it. Then I can banish it, Rontone, and go into more rank 2s. Hammer Shark. Once per turn, I can lower this monster's level to special summon a level 3 or lower water monster from my hand. So I can combo this with Swap Frog, and I can do some really good Xyz plays where I can get this monster's level down to 2 and go into rank 2s because this deck likes rank 2s. This Dolphin, Rukia. I don't know, but when this card is destroyed, either by battle or opponent, card effect, I can send the top of my deck to the grave. If it's a water monster, I draw a card. So this not only lets me set up my graveyard, but maintain hand advantage, so that's nice. And then 3 Screech. When this card is destroyed by battle, I can send 2 water monsters from my deck to my grave. Lets me set up my frogs and my planter. Then we'll go on to the extra deck. 3 gotchis because I can make them all the time, and they just are these big walls that my opponent has to burn a lot of time and cards to get over. So that's nice. 2 Dark Mist. Pretty much can't be destroyed in battle unless your opponent's really good, so your opponent has to use card effects. Daigusto Phoenix, pretty much since it's the only win monster, it, along with a Shine Elf, just attack twice, and Shine Elf. It's one of the, if not the strongest rank 2, I believe it is the strongest rank 2 in attack with 16. And when your opponent normal summons or special summons, you can detach a material to have that monster as 500. So your opponent pretty much needs to summon a monster with 2,200 attack or more to get over it. For the rank 4s, Gaga Cowboy, just really good, that extra burn damage, or getting over a really big monster. Evolve Chain, it's a graveyard-based deck, so of course it'll be in there. Mind Stroke, just a very good card. Kachikochi for that 1-2 punch. Papperloperative, if my opponent's trying to stall me out, or I don't like the way, or I want to know what my opponent's set in defense mode. Utopia, because it's good. Utopia Ray, I actually believe this got me out of a few spots using this deck, because it's gotten me out of using a few other decks. But it's really good. And Shockmaster, because the deck can make Shockmaster really easy. That's the deck profile. The deck is very self-explanatory. I don't think I need to go over much. I probably went over too much as it is, as the deck just wants to put itself in grave and then use its effects in grave. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.